Welcome to Revelation Divine Podcast, your go-to podcast for spiritual balance and mental health wisdom straight from the trenches. I'm your host, a spiritual life coach and mother, sharing the highs, lows, and lessons from my own journey. Each week, we'll explore transformative tips and tricks to elevate your mental health well-being. Join me on this empowering ride because your path to balance and bliss begins here. Subscribe now for a dose of spirituality training and the real talk that you've been craving. Gentleness and power. Give me a gentle heart that I may do not but the gentle thing my life through. Give me a heart as kind as heart can be, that I may give before it is asked of me. Percy Thomas. How many powerful people do you know whom you would consider to be a gentle person? We've been socialized to believe that power corrupts, and that total power totally corrupts. It can corrupt good manners, sensitiveness towards others, can cause arrogance, and can cause the recipient to selfishly look out for number one. An interesting study is to watch people as they climb the ladder of success and accumulate more power, and how they use or abuse it in their relationship with others. A powerful person can also be a gentle person, but it may be more of a struggle. In this exhibit of gentleness, Jesus Christ is the supreme example. Never has there ever been a more powerful person who walked this earth. At his command were legions of angels, a heavenly Father who had endued him with deity. Demons fled at his command. Sick bodies were healed with a touch or word. Even nature could be subdued. Yet he did not flaunt it or use it in any selfish way. He never exploited others. He never threatened others with powers at his command. He was so powerful, yet gentle in character, as well as his actions. One of the greatest tests in real life as to the reality of gentleness is to observe it when power is a part of the equation. There's a fine line that is drawn. You know when people are being kind out of obligation to impress others, or if it is the real thing, done when no one else be aware of what is taking place. Understand that as a fruit of the Spirit, gentleness is never the result of weakness. It requires great inner strength to be really gentle. People who are weak in character, when invested with a bit of power, are too often rough and unkind because they are weak. Such people despise gentleness in others as a sign of weakness. Gentleness is really strength under control. Though a true follower of God cannot know the extent of his or her gentleness, so long as everything is moving along quite nicely with no bumps in the sea of life. But when the time comes that people mistreat you and the sea of life gets choppy, then the real test is on. Can I and you be gentle with others then? Blessed is the servant who doesn't think more highly of himself than he ought to when others are praised and promoting him, as compared to the time in life when he was virtually nobody. Likewise, blessed is the servant who, when rebuked, can accept it humbly and with curiosity, always showing gentleness, because where there is love and wisdom, there is neither fear nor ignorance. Where there is gentleness and humility, there is neither anger nor frustration. Where there is poverty with joy, there is neither greed nor covetousness. You know, when we have to stop and think about this and all the other fruit of the spirits have to do with our interactions with people, how we think of others, how we compare ourselves to others, and so on. The following has to do with gentleness and an attitude of mind. It has to do with how we think of ourselves. The Bible tells us not to think more highly than we should. There is a balance to be struck. Just consider yourselves most as you read this interesting piece, The Other Fellow. When the other fellow takes a long time, he's slow. When I take a long time, I'm thorough. When the other fellow doesn't do it, he's lazy. But when I don't do it, I'm busy. When the other fellow does something I'm being told, he is overstepping his bounds. When I do it, that's initiative. When the other fellow overlooks a rule of etiquette, he's rude. When I skip a few rules, I'm original. When the other fellow pleases the boss, he's an apple polisher. When I please the boss, it's cooperation. When the other fellow gets ahead, he's getting the breaks. When I manage to get ahead, that's just a reward for hard work. Author is unknown. And so it goes on, round and round, in this thing of humans' relationships. It's so easy to overlook or rationalize our own behavior. Favorably, I might add, to another disadvantage, gentleness is about being gentle at all times, in all circumstances, with all people.